Today we are going to worship Shiva tatwa within us, principle of Shiva. For all Sahajogis, it's very important because Shiva is the ultimate we have to achieve. Shiva is represented in our spirit. So, to become Shiva is the ultimate aim of everything else. Shiva Tattva is innocent, absolutely innocent. It's very powerful and extremely innocent. And the secret to achieve it is only just to please, just please him. If you please Shiva, then he may be a Rakshasa or anything. He grants all kinds of boons. But to a Rakshasa, he can only grant the boon of longevity, of long life. But to a saint, he will grant the Satchithanand state. So, even if he grants anything to a Rakshasa, one should not ask questions about it. He can give him longevity. What does it matter? Even if you live for thousands of years and earn nothing out of it, you never get your realization. So to a saint, he gives that eternal longevity which comes through spirit. This is the blessing of Shiva Tattva. Principle of Shiva is in your heart, and that reflection is not on a chakra but on like a mirror. Now whatever is visible of you is this mirror. In this mirror, what reflection you have? Do you have a reflection which is clear, clean? Have you cleaned your heart? Have you cleaned your mirror that is reflective? That is what one has to say. To have malice for others, to have lust for others, to have anger for others, to have envy for others, all these reactions within us act, and our heart becomes like a stone, it cannot reflect. So if you have to reflect the quality of Shiva, which is very important today in this Kali, there are very few people who are really reflecting the image of Shiva in their own character. So it is important to watch yourself and see for yourself. What's wrong with you? Where is my attention going? Where am I going? What am I doing? If you go on judging yourself and not others, that Shiva represents the spirit. And the spirit is residing in all of you, in your hearts. The seat of Sadashiva is on top of your head, but is reflected in your heart. Now your brain is the Vittala. So to bring spirit to your brain means enlightenment of your brain. Enlightenment of your brain means the limited capacity of your brain has to become unlimited in its capacity to realize God. I will not use the word understand, but to realize God. How powerful He is, how miraculous He is, how great He is. Those who are born with Shiva Tattva, like our Sainath was, Shivdi Sainath, people like that. Even the Devi sometimes can do that. They drink away all the wines of the world, all the poisons of the world, like Shiva did. So when Sainath found that so many people were smoking this tobacco, he smoked all the tobacco of the world, tried to smoke everything in Maharashtra so that nobody should get it. That's the style of Shiva, to take all the poison into himself and to absorb all the poison within himself. He can deal with the most difficult things. So the one dealing comes through the brain, because Virata is in our brain, acts through the brain. So he plays tricks on you. And that appeals to us because we can see that he's killed someone. So we think, very nice mother, you have punished that. That's good. But Shiva Tattva gives you the problems which normally you cannot see, but works out in a short time like that. Like heart troubles, or a person who has very poor Shiva Tattva can have all the incurable diseases of the world. There nobody is killed, but every minute the person is suffering. That is the way Shiva corrects. Now, I would say, to understand the detachment of spirit, we should study ourselves very well, clearly. How are we attached? We are attached, firstly, by our brain. Mostly by our brain. Because all our conditionings are in our brain, and all our ego is also in our brain. So all emotional attachments are through our brain, and all our egoistical attachments also are through our brain. That's why it is said that after realization one must try to practice the Shiva Tattva by practicing detachment. That's only possible when your spirit comes into your brain and you become part and parcel of Virat itself. Virat is the brain, as I told. Then everything that you do, when you show your temper, when you show your affection, when you show your compassion, anything, is the spirit that is expressing. Because brain has lost its identity, the so-called limited brain. It has become the unlimited spirit. I do not know. I really do not know how to give an analogy to a thing like that. But what we can do is to understand it. That if a color is dropped in the ocean, the ocean becomes colorful. is not possible. But rather, try to understand, if a little color, limited color, is dropped into the ocean, the color loses its identity completely. Think of the other way around. If the ocean is colored and is poured into atmosphere or onto any part, any little wee bit, or onto any spot, onto any atom or anything, it all becomes colorful. So the spirit is like the ocean which has the light in it. And when this ocean pours into the little cup of your brain, the cup loses its identity and everything becomes spiritual. Everything. You can make everything spiritual. Everything. You touch anything is spiritual. The sand becomes spiritual. The land becomes spiritual. Atmosphere becomes spiritual. Celestial bodies become spiritual. Everything becomes spiritual. So is the ocean that is the spirit, while your brain is limited. So the detachment from your limited brain has to be brought in. All limitations of brain should be broken so that when this ocean fills that brain, it should break that little cup. And every bit of that cup should become colorful. The whole atmosphere, everything, whatever you locate should be colorful. Color of the spirit is the light of the spirit. And this light of the spirit acts, works, thinks, coordinates, does everything. This is the reason today I decided to bring Shiva Tattva to the brain. The first procedure is to take your brain towards the Shiva Tattva by telling it, see, where are you going, Mr. Brain? You're putting attention to this, you're putting attention to that. Getting involved now, detach. Become the brain yourself. Only the brain. Detach. And then take this detached brain completely filled with the color of the spirit. It will automatically happen. As long as you will have these limitations to your attention, it will not happen. So one has to really deliberately do this tapasya. Every individual. There are so many qualities of the Shiva Tattva, of the principle of Shiva, that I need not tell you. But today I will tell you another dimension which I have not touched so far about Shiva Tattva. The physical aspect of Shiva Tattva is that such a person is a cold type of a person. In the sense that such a person is not a person who gives hot vibrations, but who has too much of it sometimes, not in balance, who overdoes it, develops a kind of a temperament which can be extremely cold. Could be low blood pressure with it, could be diarrhea,
Also, diarrhea also one can get with too much of spiritual strength. And also should be on the plump side because of the left side. Because left side is the kapha, as we call it. Kapha is the phlegm that is more. Because the left side is more, such a person is always apt to catch cold and has problems of the pores. So such a person has to protect oneself from getting into colds and things like that, and the methods to be employed are to be learned to surge over. But to give it a balance, the spirit itself is beyond health problems. But the left-sided person who always thinks of the spirit also can become one-sided when he has to live on this earth. He has to be a balanced person. So he has to take to another side, and that side is the activity of the spiritual growth within himself. A person who is very spiritually developed cannot exist as a Shiva tatwa on this earth. He has to exist as a balanced personality. And when he starts developing that balancing within himself, the spirit from his heart starts rising and goes on top of his head. So this is the second stage where one has to be. Here is the whole collectivity. So when you start taking your love and affection into your central nervous system, you can say, and put it on top of your head. That means as soon as you put it in your Virat, when it starts spreading through your Virata Shakti, through your collective being, then only you are a complete person. Otherwise you are a Shiva Tattva. Shiva Tattva exists whether this universe exists or not. It exists even when the whole universe is existing, even when it vanishes, it all goes into that, merges into that Shiva. So a person who has a spiritual hankering must know that to raise your Shiva above the heart level, he has to raise it gradually onto a very detached method of existing on top of the surface, where there is a complete balance. Complete balance.
So today I hope we all pray that, O Lord, give us strength and that source of attraction by which we give up all other attractions of all the pleasures of joy, of ego, of everything that we think of. But we should fall into the pure joy form of the Shiva Tattva. Absolutely.
Shivoham, 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 Shivoham.